Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. And it's day 2 of Vlogmas, and today I'm going to be talking about the books that I'm reading in the month of December. They're all Christmas books, spoiler alert. But first of all, let me show you my Christmas jumper. So this Christmas jumper says Meowie Christmas, Xmas, which I don't normally like Xmas, but I do like it on this jumper, with a little kitty with little fairy lights around his face. It's from H&M this year, and I think it was £12.99, which is quite a bargain. So yes, that is my Christmas jumper for the day. Now let us talk about the books that I am going to be reading in December. So I've got quite a few books here. I'm actually aiming to potentially, David's just rummaging around in the background. What are you looking for? Christmas socks. Christmas socks. I'm actually potentially aiming to read a book a day in December, which is completely doable because I've got quite a few little sort of picture books and things like that. Oh, I thought the washing machine had finished, but it hasn't. I'm going to power through anyway. Yeah, I've got some picture books and things that I will read on the days where I'm not going to finish an actual book. But a lot of books that I'm reading this month are middle grade, children's books, picture books, etc. So let's start with the book that I'm reading at the moment. I picked it up this morning and I've been very much enjoying it. I'm 36 pages in. I am currently reading Father Christmas and Me by Matt Haig. So this follows on from The Girl Who Saved Christmas by Matt Haig, which I listened to the audiobook of last year, and it was narrated by Carey Mulligan. Now, Carey Mulligan, I think, is a wonderful actress, but I just feel like the audiobook wasn't great. But David's mum bought this for David for Christmas, just as a gift this year, earlier on. She bought me the Harry Potter, which is up there, and she bought David this. And I just thought, well, I'd give this a go, and I'm really enjoying it. I feel like, as an actual reading, I'm actually much enjoying this one than I did when I was listening to the audiobook last year. So at the moment, all that's happened so far is that Father Christmas has married Mary, who is now Mother Christmas, and the girl that we follow, Amelia, is sort of starting to realise that perhaps she doesn't fit into Elfhelm as much as she thought she did. It's really lovely. It's got some really awesome illustrations in. One of my favourite was Father Christmas and Mary's Wedding. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Here. Father Christmas and Mary's Wedding, which is lovely. And yeah, just very much enjoying it so far. So that's the book that I'm reading at the moment. Now, as I said, I had read the one that was prelude to this, The Girl Who Saved Christmas, but I haven't read Matt Haig's first Christmas book, which is A Boy Called Christmas. This is a proof copy, I believe. Is it? Yes. So I haven't read this. David's mum read this last year and really enjoyed it. So I feel like I won't read this straight after that one, but if I get time, I'm going to read A Boy Called Christmas as well. Really enjoy the illustrations, and like, this is lovely. For a proof copy as well, it's all sparkly and nice. And then the other novelty books I've got. This is the one that I'm going to be reading for my online book club. It's An Almost Perfect Christmas by Nina Stibb, and I really love this front cover. It's really cute. It's like a naked hardback with like rose gold here, and this is a memoir and sort of ode to the joy of Christmas. I'm currently reading at the moment, as I sort of hang over from non-fiction November, Love Nina, which is these are both non-fiction books about Nina's account in the 80s of living as a live-in nanny for a family in London, and I'm finding it so funny. It's like real life Bridget Jones, and it's really, really hilarious. So I've got high hopes for this, and I think this is going to be really good. I'm actually feeling like this could potentially be one of my favourite books of the year, like, because I'm loving Love Nina so much, and if that's anything like Love Nina plus Christmas, I'm going to be beside myself. This next book is a book that I bought in a charity shop like in the summer, and it is Enid Blyton, the Christmas book. So it's really like old, and it's just a selection of Christmas stories by Enid Blyton. Now, I used to read a lot of Enid Blyton when I was younger, and yeah, so I just thought this would be quite nice to have, and whether or not I get to it, but yeah, very pretty nice bit of mistletoe and holly on the front there. The next book I have got is Mr. Dickens and His Carol by Samantha Silver. So this is this is the story of Charles Dickens, and his book Martin Chuzzlewit's been a flop, and his publishers say to him, look, you've got to write a hit, otherwise that's it for us. And he decides to write a Christmas book. I believe there's a film about this out. When is The Man Who Invented Christmas out, David?
I think it's like the 20th of December.
The 20th of December. So David and I are really hoping... We should definitely go and see that. Yeah, we're going to go and see that. So hopefully I will read this before. I'm not sure if the film's based on the book or whatever, but it's just they're both saying like the same storyline, and I really like this. It's got really nice like snow and nice gold windows, very pretty. The next one was sent to me by Pam Macmillan, and David is also going to read this month, and it's a non-fiction book called Alan the Christmas Donkey by Tracy Garton, and this is about Tracy, who rescues a badly neglected donkey on the run up to Christmas, and his name is Alan, and yeah, she runs the Radcliffe Donkey Sanctuary, and she's sort of come into a bit of financial bother, and she's hoping that that's going to turn around, and Alan just opens up her heart. But David is going to read this first, and then I'm hopefully going to get a chance to read this, so David's got his work cut out with that. And then, not quite yet, but I will be reading this later on, and this is Christmas Days by Jeanette Winterson. This is 12 stories and 12 feasts for 12 days. So on the run up to Christmas, I tried to do this last year, but just didn't have time because we were so busy. But actually during the week on the run up to Christmas, we're not too bad. So this has got 12 short stories in for the run up to Christmas, and also 12 recipes. And my plan is, as it was last year, but I only read 3 of them last year, I might start a bit earlier this year to get a bit of a head start, is to read one of these short stories a day on the run up to, on the 12 days before Christmas. This is beautiful. It is a this would be a gorgeous present, maybe potentially not for Christmas, but if you wanted to buy someone a book on the run up to Christmas, this is a naked hardback with like all this gorgeous like woodland themed loveliness, and really, really fun stories, and just looks beautiful inside and just lovely. So yeah, looking forward to reading that. And then the last one I've got isn't strictly Christmas, but it is set in the run up to Christmas, and that is The Darkest Days by Harken Nessa. So this is set in December in a quiet Swedish town called Kimlinge, and the Hermansen family are together to celebrate a double birthday, and there's sort of the night takes a dark and unexpected turn. So yeah, although it's not necessarily a Christmas book, I feel like if I want a break from all the Christmas, this will be a good place to go. And I haven't read any crime for a long time, so yeah, it's super heavy, really, really heavy. So yeah, this is a proof copy, but yeah, that's the one I've got there. So as well as reading those books, I've also got some picture books to show you, but I'm also going to be, I've got 3 credits on Audible that I've been saving up. And the first book that I'm going to listen to is a book that I read last year, and that's The Christmasaurus by Tom Fletcher. I read the book last year, very much enjoyed it. It's actually our book club at work pick this month. So I thought I would listen to it on audiobook. Now, I can't remember who does the audiobook, but I remember Jen listening to it last year and saying it was lovely. So I'm going to be listening to the audio of The Christmasaurus. I'm also going to be listening to the audio of Father Christmas's Fake Beard, which is written by Terry Pratchett. I don't really know much about that, and I think the audio is really, really short. I think it's like, I thought he was trimming his beard. Speaking of Father Christmas's Fake Beard, I think it's I don't know what that noise is. I think it's really, really short, but I'm looking forward to it anyway. I haven't read any Terry Pratchett in my life ever, so that will be my first ever Terry Pratchett. And the last one that I'm going to listen to is Hetty Feathers Christmas by Jacqueline Wilson. Jacqueline Wilson was an absolute love of mine when I was much younger. I really, really enjoyed listening to reading Jacqueline Wilson, and she's got a Christmas book out centred around one of her characters, Hetty Feather, sort of like historical fiction for the younger age. So very much looking forward to that as well. So those are the 3 books that I'm going to be listening to on Audible, and then I've just got here just some picture books to show you. These are going to be sort of like the books that if I'm wanting to read a book a day, these are going to be the ones that sort of like I'm picking up in between. The first 3 are all these Carol Ann Duffy poetry collections, which I really got into last year. I bought one for myself last year, and I went to the Pam Macmillan Christmas party last year as well, where I picked up another, and then I bought myself another one this year, and I think I'm going to continue to add to my collection as it goes, because there's so many. The one I've bought this year is Pablo Picasso's Noel. These are really sweet, and they're just like lovely poems with really, really nice, really, really nice illustrations in. The one I got last year from the Pan Mac Christmas party was The King of Christmas by Carol Ann Duffy. They're all by Carol Ann Duffy. Again, lovely things here. And then this is the one I bought myself last year, and I love this. I was actually really laughing, and I love Rob Ryan's illustrations, who illustrated the whole thing. This is Another Night Before Christmas, and like the illustrations are just beautiful. So those 3. I've also got another poetry little book here, and that I didn't get round to reading this last year. This is Tidings by Ruth Padell, A Christmas Journey, which is just gorgeous. So that looks lovely. And then getting into the sort of like really thin storybooks. I've got The Dinosaur That Pooped Christmas by Tom Fletcher and Dougie Poynter. I bought this for David's stocking filler a few years ago, and we always like to read it and just find it quite hilarious. I've also got Mog's Christmas Calamity by Judith Kerr. Mog was the star of a Sainsbury's Christmas advert a few years ago, and we really, really enjoyed that advert, and this is the story behind that. And it's really reminiscent of my childhood. Like, I used to read a lot of Mog when I was younger, and yeah, it's just lovely illustrations and just sort of like nostalgic. And then on Christmas Eve, every year, David and I have a tradition where we read aloud to each other The Jolly Christmas Postman by Janet and Alan Allberg. One year one of us reads the texts and the other one reads the stuff that's in the envelopes, and then the next year we swap round. I can't remember what order we're in this year. Do you remember, David?
What?
Who's reading the text and who's reading the envelopes this year?
Reading the envelopes this year.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm reading the envelopes this year. So yeah, we have a little thing. So that's something that we will definitely be reading on Christmas Eve. So those are the books that I will be reading through the month of December. What are you guys planning on reading through the month of December? Very much looking forward to getting stuck into all this. I felt excited anyway, but I feel double excited now I've filmed my TBR. Yeah, so I will see you all again tomorrow for the first vlog week of Vlogmas, and I hope you're all having a wonderful December. David and I are actually going to put the Christmas tree up today, so we've got a lot to get on with. I will see you all again tomorrow.